Do you know the ideas behind these people? Remember, you might have went to school, you might have degrees, masters, but the knowledge that God you came with, it cannot be superseded. I can go to school and study everything, but in terms of what God gave me, the leadership is there. And there's a people who remember, I can understand more politics of the MDM, but I cannot understand how the politics in the workplace work.
Yeah.
And another thing is that people of the union are always aggressive, they are causing havoc in the workplaces, which is very wrong. There's a way that we resolve. Remember, when we dispute matters, if we don't reach consensus with the employer, there's a dispute mechanism that it goes in. We go out, we seek a mandate. And the NLA allows us to say, as a trade union movement, if there's a dispute, we don't get each other with the employer, we have to strike. And that's a right. And it's legalized. That thing is a strike to people think that, no, we're layman people, you can't go on strike and everything. No. That thing is part of the Labor Relations Act. That is there. A right to strike, a freedom of an association. Hence, people will notice, the people that have the wrong impression to say unions are problematic. Unions, you know, they're not problematic. Unions are come with best solution in the workplaces. That's one thing that I like about it. And young people, they must still are able to say, no, man, in the trade unions, no, we don't engage. You know, we have different ways of engagement. And you could say what you said to say, young people, now we see when they have problems, they run to the unions.
Yeah.
What makes them to think that there's a union? It just went through the COVID, it's where you could realize that we have changed. The fourth industrial revolution came with changes in terms of that. Now, young people prefer to go to social space to get information, using the social media platforms, or using technology to have meetings. There are people who were there before that used to shop floor meetings, that we gather into the hall, we give them reports. Remember, we still have facing with the people who cannot able to read and write. There are problems that people cannot afford that. That's the normal thing. There's a lot of low-lying areas where you find people cannot get networks to connect. So there's a difference between the other generation and our generation, but we need to incorporate them in one place. And suitable to say, our culture is to back to the basic. We go back to meet and engage with our members every day. So that's how people think. And as our generation, they think that we can go to Zoom, we have a meeting, we address issues. But there are those who cannot. But there's a certain issues that you need to contact. You need to go and check and verify what is happening in the workplace. You might be sitting in the office connected. There might be someone who's exploited down there. We don't see. But if we do go to the ground, we have in contact communication with them. It goes and it allows the unions. So that's other things that you need to look to say. The misconception of saying trade unions are not, it assisted the myth. It just created by people who hate unions. Recently, if you have go through, how can one, because that thing is given in the area to say you have a freedom of association of trade union movement. And the Department of Labor, and one has seen the article, now is denied an access to go and organize in Department of Labor. The custodian themselves of the IRA, how can you deny that one? Because you can't deny that. That's a legislative thing. That is there's legislation. And the one thing that look at the farm workers, there are vulnerable sectors. Those people, they don't have rights. The moment when they join the union, they're dismissed from work. Poverty is something that is giving us a problem that to say we end up exploited so that we can service our people. Look at us. How many percent? It's about 40% of our year generation are not employed. So I can do anything so that I can get a job or to survive, to have a meal at home. So those are the things that is created by the people who have a wrong negativity about the unions, because we are exposing the wrongdoings in the workplaces, and we want to correct, because all of us were guided by the Constitution of the Republic. The Freedom Charter is clear. now over 70 years. It's part of what it's implemented to say we have a freedom of association today. Freedom that is given back to say we need to be organized. So the people who have these misconceptions are the ones who have a problem. They know they are doing wrong things. They are not adhering to the policies of the government that needs to do that. That's the problem.